Hello, beautiful people. I'm so excited to be back into the fortnightly coaching transmissions. Now, the subject that we're going to dig into today is really important, and it's really, really important for this time of year. My microphone, by the way, is so juicy, so deep, and sometimes so intimidating and challenging for people as well, which I completely understand and am sympathetic and empathetic and compassionate to. But also overriding all of those things, this particular principle is something that we must commit to in our lives if we want to thrive, succeed, heal, grow, change, and basically live a better life. So that's my dog. I'm just going to let him in. I'll keep talking. Want to come in, Bubba? Come on. Coming in? Oh, he's ghosted me. Just walked straight off. So the subject is self-discipline. Self-discipline as a pillar of human existence is such a foundational piece for us to live the life we want to live. So when we incarnate into a human body, when we're in the plane of existence, choosing the next life that we're going to enter into, we will commit to a sacred contract around taking care of the physical vessel that we're being given, taking care of the emotional vessel that we're being given, and taking care of the mental vessel that we're being given when we go into the next life. So to have a human existence from a spiritual concept here, from the spiritual view, it's a gift. So when we come, he's all good, still ghosting me. When we come back into this incarnation on human territory, if you like, on planet Earth, it's a gift. It is a blessing, and there is always a service or a dharma that we are here to fulfill. This time, he's not going to ghost me. There he is. Come on, Bubby. Come in so you can listen to the spiritual wisdom. He likes to listen to the spiritual wisdom. See? There you go. Going to listen and join us. Maybe he'll give some insight himself. So that piece around that commitment to yourself is absolutely foundational when it comes to taking care of the physical, mental, emotional vessels. Your spirit is given this gift. This soul is given this beautiful gift of a human experience for a certain length of time. And the soul is given many experiences, especially for an old soul. And if we are a newer soul, then we're still going to have plenty of lifetimes where we get these opportunities to live a certain dharma, a certain service for a certain length of time. So the soul is given a role, a soulful role, I like to call it. So you will come into human existence with something to fulfill. And we don't remember it when we come into human form. Our role initially is to discover within ourselves what it is. And that is actually always residing in the heart. When we're born, our service or dharma is in our heart. And as we grow and evolve, it's still in our heart. But there are physical, mental, emotional, family, lineage, ancestral pulls that take us away from that truth of our heart. But it's always there. The dharma or service to humanity that we are here to provide is always there. And that is that message. What are we here to do? What are we here to provide? Who are we here to be? Who are we here to serve? And when we really, really get clear on what that is, and often that comes in waves or it comes from previous experiences that teach us what we don't want to do, difficult marriages, difficult relationships, jobs that literally drain the life force out of us until we really kind of go, oh, you know what? I know this is for me. I know this is what I'm here to do. That service is always there. That dharma is always there. But part of our life's journey is about discovering that for ourselves, within ourselves, not discovering it externally. External sources will need sometimes to navigate, to open up, but then we need to come back inside every single time. In order to live in this place of sovereignty and this place of divine service and divine knowing what our message is here on a planet Earth, we have signed a sacred contract to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, to look after these vessels, to take care of the physical body so it can carry us through life from beginning to end, to take care of the emotional vessel so that we do not hold emotions suppressed and trapped in the body that will then create dis-ease, a lack of harmony, a lack of flow, a lack of vitality, sickness, illness, and dis-ease of some kind. To take care of the mind, which is allowing the mind to be expansive and expanded, and also practicing things that really bring balance, clarity, and coherence to the mind. And also beyond the mind as we know it in the mental realm to expand into spiritual spaces where we are able to be really insightful, intuitive, guided by our soul's voice, which comes through us and radiates its knowing for us within the third eye chakra space. And so we're coming back to that real sense of intuitive nature, which is our true nature. That is who we are. We are intuitive beings guided by spirit. We need to choose to be guided by spirit. And to do this, we must be self-disciplined. The word discipline is challenging for some people because as soon as we hear it, we go straight into external discipline. So discipline is where someone else tells us what to do. Looking at my cat. He's exploring the kitchen. Discipline from an external perspective is where someone else that tells us what to do or something else designs a blueprint or a foundation for us of which we are supposed to follow. And that kind of discipline is not really empowered discipline. It isn't a discipline that is coming from us. It is a discipline that is shining at us from external sources. And sometimes we might resonate with that for a certain length of time. Maybe if a church has something they want us to follow, or a group, or a foundation, or a charity, or a cult, so many external sources, basically someone else's system telling us what to do. Schools, parents, religion is a really big one, marriage, whatever. So there is an external source of discipline that is being shown to us. And when we're not fully empowered or fully embodied or completely evolved or ascended past a certain point, we will choose those external pathways of discipline as our own. When we choose those external pathways of discipline as our own, often we are disempowered because we're not listening to our true voice of authenticity, our true sovereignty, our true resonance, the soul's voice. We're actually listening to something else and being guided by that. Now, this has its place because it can really lead us towards very beautiful principles and really great methods and ideologies and systems and codes of ethics that are really great. However, it has its downfall also because we become committed to things because we think we should, or we are told we are supposed to do these things to be a good person, to live a good life. However, they may not resonate with what our truth is initially or later when we discover it. So often when people, my cat, Bagheera, get down. Sorry guys, get down. I have such naughty animals today, that full moon energy. They're so naughty. They've been like this for 3 days. Yes, you, I'm talking about you. He pops his head up because he's naughty too. When we are doing what someone else has told us to do and following somebody else's structure, there will often come a time where we have a different approach or a different feeling or a different resonance or a different message that is ours. It's our sovereignty, it's our sacred wisdom, it's our soulful truth, and it doesn't quite align with these external structures that we have been taught. I'm doing this because my parents taught me. I'm doing this because I learned it from the church. I'm doing this because this is what we do in the Masons. I'm doing this because this is what we do in marriage. I'm doing this because I was taught this by a teacher at school. I'm doing this because I don't know why. My naturopath told me to, my acupuncturist told me, so many things. When we externalize that, we are taking away our own power by going, I don't have enough self-trust to follow the beat of my own drum. So what I will do is follow others. And that's all well and good when it's building awareness that is healthy. However, when it's not healthy and it's not aligned and it's dangerous or it's brainwashing or it is manipulative or it's creating the feeling of failure or success or inadequacy or all of these other things, it can be really, really detrimental. And we notice that what we're doing is being really disciplined by something we don't actually believe or resonate with. And then it creates internal conflict and turmoil and harm and stress, and most importantly, a lack of flow. We are no longer flowing. The 72,000 energy channels in the body stop flowing, and they stop flowing because we are blocking them. When we are out of alignment and we do something anyway, we block the flow of energy in us because we are suppressing, blocking, closing down what is actually true for who we are. For us to be in flow, we must be in authenticity. We must be in our truth. So when we are in our truth, we flow. When we are not, we stagnate and get stuck. So we notice sometimes at certain points of our life, we're being disciplined and we're following somebody else's way. We're being disciplined and we're doing what we were told to do. We're being disciplined and we're following something that is often going against every cell of our being. We are closing ourselves down, limiting ourselves. We are lacking in expansion and awareness because we're trying to fit into the box of somebody else's belief system, and all well and good. I know that a lot of these amazing structures and disciplines that we learn, and I love so many of them, especially through yoga, through the Hindu philosophy, through the Buddhist philosophy. I love them and I really resonate with them. But they are not all for me, and they are not all going to resonate with me. And I'm going to have added extra belief, wisdom, and knowledge that is mine, that is channeled, that is right for me, that I can share or keep for myself, but that is something extra, something different, something aligned, something extraordinary. And this is how I want you to view discipline. Discipline is often this external thing that we do because we think we should. Now, self-discipline is different, right? So the word self, you put the word self in front of it and it changes everything. When we put the word self in front of it, my boy, you're so beautiful. I think he wants to go out again though, but just check him out. Isn't he gorgeous? When we put the word self in front of it, we shift it into a place where we are able to take ownership and take hold of the reins and become empowered by the wisdom that flows through us. We're not asking permission from anywhere else, and we're not taking resources from other places and making them our own. We are, in fact, listening to our spiritual wisdom, which always comes through the crown chakra. You're always connected to it. Whether you listen to it is different. But your sacred spiritual wisdom is in the stars. It's in the cosmos. It's in your ancestry. It's in your lineage. It's in your spiritual body. It's in your soul. And it's always there. And when we open up to that and listen to it, we have our own systems. We have our own structures. We have our own systems. And we have our own beliefs, our empowered sovereignty, this amazing capacity to be able to listen to our own wisdom. When we put the word self in front of discipline, we become empowered to make our choices. And we put the word self in front of discipline, we become the leader of our own energy, the master of our own energy, the one in the driving seat, because we choose to do things that feel for the emotional body sometimes very challenging, but we do them anyway. That look sometimes mentally really scary or like we can't achieve them, but we do them anyway. That expand the physical body into spaces it didn't know it could be into, and that are beyond our spiritual capacities because we are always growing. So we actually listen to this message that is coming from our own soul in human form, and we go, wow, okay, I'm actually going to be self-disciplined, which means I'm going to do the things that are for the highest good of my physical, mental, and emotional bodies, even if it challenges the shit out of me. I am going to do those things because I know it is for my highest good. I know that I need to be self-disciplined in my mental body practices so that I can have a clear mind, so that I can expand my mental capacity, and so that I can clearly hear and receive my intuitive messages, so that I can develop my clairsentiency, clairaudiency, claircognizance, clairsalience, clairvoyance, clairaudience. I know that I need to take care of my mind, even if I don't want to, and even if I find it challenging. I know I have to because I signed that sacred contract. So I will be self-disciplined in taking care of my mind. I know I must be self-disciplined in taking care of my body, my physical body, because if I don't, this is what happens. I feel sick. I get ill all the time. I get overweight. I struggle to get out of bed. I have no energy. I'm stiff. I'm in pain. I have all of these sicknesses and illnesses that keep coming. My physical body isn't working for me because I'm not taking care of it in some way. All right. And this is going to be a slap in the face for some because you will have to become accountable to what you can do. And yes, we do have So many detrimental illnesses, challenges physically that we feel are beyond our control, and often they are. We can't do a lot about them, but also we need to get into a space where we can see that this is also part of the sacred contract that we've signed. And I know that's going to push you to your edges, and I know that's going to go, oh, but I didn't ask for this and I didn't. It's going to push us into victim often. But when we see someone thrive within their physical challenges, it is because they have risen above the victim consciousness around it. It is because they've accepted where they are at. And so then loops of potential have been sent to them from the universe for different ways of looking at things and different methods and techniques of expanding beyond where you believed you could go, because you're not looking at yourself as being so limited as you were before. With self-discipline, we're able to see that we must take care of our emotional body. The emotional body needs to have regular release, and that sometimes will need to be facilitated. Emotion from the Latin emovere, to move out. The emotional body functions when we do not hold suppressed feelings in. When we hold suppressed feelings in, we block the emotional flow, we close the energy down, the chakras stop flowing, and the physical body gets sick, ill, diseased in some way. So when we understand that we need to take care of the emotional vessel, that means that we are committing to emotional release techniques. And what are they? Well, they might be energy healing regularly. They might be massage. They might be chanting, sound, journaling, tapping, a million ways, hypnosis, whatever it is, expressing, sharing, talking to a counselor. A million things, but it has to be done because your emotional body congests and stagnates when you do not have release techniques in place. Do we find all of these things easy? No, because we're often dominant in one area. We find physical health easier, emotional health easier, mental health easier, but we don't find them all easy. But does that mean we can skip them? No. It means even more so you need to be committed to learning, growing, changing, and expanding and working with the things that help you in the area of deficiency for you. So if we're really good with physical health, we do lots of weights, we go to the gym, we run, we train, but we never talk about our feelings, then emotional body needs work, right? Mentally, we're great because we're so committed and we're doing it and we think about it in actions, but then are we also able to be intuitive? So there is always areas we need to work in, and we must apply ourselves in a self-disciplined way. Self-discipline, when you put that word in front of it, means that you have chosen to do a series of things because you know it is for the highest good of you and all involved. Self-discipline means you have chosen to take action in your life to shift your story and your bullshit and your mental health, emotional health, physical health that is detrimental, going to kill you, going to create a really negative life for you, going to make you ill, sick, upset, depressed, anxious, stressed. You have chosen to be self-disciplined because you know it's for the highest good of all. And you've chosen it overriding your emotional body that goes, oh, but that's too hard and it feels awful. You're also overriding your mind that's saying, oh, you're not good enough. You can't do that. You can't follow it through. You've overridden that as well. You've also overridden the physical challenges. And this is a big one because people let physical challenges limit them so much, but you've also overridden that. We need to remember that the physical challenge is not going to be there permanently if you're doing something for it. And if the physical challenge feels like it is going to be something that is there for your whole life, that there are other things that you can do and focus on instead of getting stuck in victim corner. Life's too hard for me. I got a really bad hand. No, for fuck's sake, you can choose that and then you will be limited by it forever. Or you can choose something else. You know what? Yeah, this is hard for me, but I know there's more for me. So I'm going to do the work and put the energy in and change my freaking story. Because when we stay limited and stuck in these negative, harmful behaviors that do not serve our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness, then we can kiss goodbye to evolving and transcending. We can kiss goodbye to having that life of our dreams, attracting great relationships, friendships, peace, prosperity, abundance. Because we are not stepping up and doing the work. We are not becoming self-disciplined. Self-discipline means you're going to do it even when it challenges you. You're going to do it even when you need to set that reminder and get up earlier. You're going to do it even when it means doing things you don't like in your emotional body. You're going to do it when it means it's hard, it's time consuming, or it's a habit that you need to create. You're going to accept that you need to create the habit. And whilst you're creating the habit, yes, that can be challenging, but you are going to step up when you are ready to become self-disciplined. So I challenge you to get really clear on what areas in your life you are lacking in self-discipline. If you're talking about something all the time, oh yeah, I really need to do that. I really need to lose weight. I really need to join a gym. I really need to do that. And you're not doing it, then it's not freaking happening. So something has to change. Stop talking about the same thing and sharing about the same thing and telling people you really need to do it, and actually step into action. You can do that. Action is within all of us. And it's not easy to activate, but you also do have the power to override your emotional body, which is telling you something is too hard. It's about doing it. If you do something consistently for 21 days, you will create a habit. So why don't you just create that habit instead of all of your limitation and your bullshit around, and if you have a paradigm that's telling you something is a certain way, change the paradigm. Do some hypnosis. Ask me for a hypnosis meditation. Go and see a hypnotherapist. Do some kinesiology. Do something that shifts that belief so you can actually action something as a result of that, rather than just staying limited and stuck in your story, because this is going to create a really, really challenging existence for you. I challenge you to write down all the things, all the areas in your life where self-discipline is not currently happening. And I challenge you to take action on them, to take inspired action. Write down on a piece of paper all the things, list where self-discipline is not in play. Then list a step that you can take, an incremental baby step. And if you don't know one, reach out to me, ask me, and I will know one. And then action it. We put the things in place. And even if it's tiny little incremental things that we build over time, little atomic habits, read that book, Atomic Habits, read it. Even if it's tiny little incremental things, that is going to make massive impact, because when we do something routinely, ritualistically, and with dedication, and we do it without fail, the results that we get are absolutely mind-blowing, because we must build regularity and ritual and consistency for something to have the effect of change in our system. So you can't just do it once or twice. You can't just go to the gym for a week and then not go again. You can't just eat healthy meals for 3 days and then not eat them again. You can't do journaling once a month and then never do it. You can't go to a retreat once a year for self-care and then never go again. You can't do yoga a couple of times, find it hard, and then not go back to it. Like, come on, there is more. There is more, but you have to get self-disciplined and put the effort in to make the changes. And I'm telling you, it is not always easy. So we have support. We need to reach out often to support for different networks, different support people, different therapists, coaches, practitioners, online resources, books, whatever, platforms for healing and growth, or podcasts, whatever. We need to do that. We need to externalize sometimes so we can unlock within ourselves the potential for growth that is innately there. All right. So self-discipline. I challenge you to get disciplined in your life, to get into the role of self-discipline where you're showing up to do things because you know it's for your highest good, and you know it's going to bring vitality, health, and well-being to you ultimately. It's also going to change your life. It's going to have a ripple effect for women and men all over the world, because when you change your ancestry, your lineage, you change the pathways, you change the whole reincarnation, you learn life lessons that you are here to learn, so that when you reincarnate soulfully again into a different life, a different body, you've actually done work, you've ascended, you've moved, you've shifted. Please, please, please do this for you. And please, please, please reach out for help when you require it. That's been self-discipline. And I am here for you to reach out to me so that we can dig into it even deeper for you personally. Thank you so much for listening and watching.